All right, court is now back in session. The jail has relocated, and you can resume your case, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer, do you recall where you left off?
Uh,
Oh, I do. I got it. We were talking about the cars.
yes, the car. So the car to the left, car to the right, and some of the plastic of the building was burned off.
Okay. Now, did you in fact detain Mr. Lloyd?
I did not.
So you have not had occasion to talk to him about this?
I have not.
Okay. Now, that might actually be done. Let me make sure. I'm not sure if I asked this or not, so I'm just going to throw it out there. Did Ms. Mosley, either the mother or the daughter, give this man permission to set that car on fire?
No. You did ask, and it was no.
Okay. Was her apartment damaged, or was it just the building in general?
Uh, I would say building, just whatever was plastic nearby. The car
Okay.
was right in front of the door, so I would say, yeah, I guess you could say her apartment because it was plastic on it.
Was a gas can or anything else recovered?
A gas can. I believe when the fire investigator was out there, I believe he also did a report. I don't know if
Okay. So
you
you think it might have been, but you don't know?
the gas can. No, I
Yes.
mean you can see it on the video. It was a gas can. Now, if it was recovered, I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, after setting the vehicle on fire, what did Mr. Lloyd do?
Um, so based on what I've seen on the video, what I can remember, when he set it on fire, I believe he was recording it because his flash on the phone was on. I don't know if it was flashlight or if he was recording it, but after that, he walked away, around the building.
Okay. And I believe that's all I have. Reserved right for redirect.
All right, Mr. Lewis, cross-examination.
420.
Mr.
You're
Lewis, your
muted.
volume.
You're muted, Mr. Lewis.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And thank you all. Officer, I'm going to go back to the top of your testimony and work my way down, okay?
Okay.
Start first by spelling your first and last name.
So my first name is Joshua,
Mhm.
Joshua. My last name is Cruz Leon, Cruzleon.
Okay. I'm not even going to tell you how I butchered your last name. So,
Okay,
all
got
right.
it.
Are you a patrolman?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
I was. I'm on a
Okay.
specialized unit now, but I
Okay.
was.
Congratulations on the assignment.
Thank you.
Um, and you are with Forest Park PD, correct?
Yes, Forest Park Police Department. Yes, sir.
All right. I understood you to say that you are K9. You're K9 then or K9 now?
I was K9 then as also.
Okay, understood. I understood you to say that the call to you came at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
What day was that 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. call? Was it the same day of the 14th, or was it the prior day, the 13th, or the
If
subsequent
I
day?
could see my notes, I would
Yes, sir, please.
tell you the exact date.
Mhm.
That was 4/14/24.
414. All right. So, and just so we can get through this, let us know when you're looking at your notes. I don't have any objection to you looking at it. So right
Okay,
before
I
you look
just
at them,
looked
say,
at
hey,
it.
But I mean,
At
going
it.
forward,
Okay,
going
I looked
forward,
at
yeah.
it to give you the exact date, but
Yep.
I'll
All
let you
right,
know.
cool. I'll clarify the reason why I asked that in a few minutes. You
Okay.
mentioned some other times, and they were in the AM times, and all right, all right. And the call you get, of course, is coming from radio dispatch. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're actually on duty at this time. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I was on a different call.
All right, understood. And then when you arrive at the building you arrive at is building E at the address that you gave earlier, correct?
Yes, sir. E as an echo.
Okay. Now this building E, that to me suggests that there are at least four other buildings in this apartment complex. Is that right?
Yes.
hmm Building E, however, is on the street. It faces the public way,
No, it
or
faces another building.
it faces another building. So it's back inside of a complex.
Yes, sir.
Okay, understood. Now, as a K9 officer at that time, did you have your body cam operable?
Yes, sir.
Did you have also dash cam in your vehicle?
I do have one, but it doesn't work.
Understood. So, of the body cam, when you finished this call out on this issue, did you preserve that video?
Yes, sir.
All right, beautiful. Now, talk to me about the pouring gesture that you did earlier. And I asked this question because you demonstrated rather than saying poured liquid. Did
Okay.
you see a liquid coming out of the can, or did you simply see the gesture?
I saw the gesture. I don't know if liquid came out or not.
Okay, understood. And you saw this on a video of one of the neighbors
Yes, sir.
of this person. Is that neighbor also in building E?
Yes, sir. I
All right,
believe I
wonderful.
believe uh apartment E3 is here, and
hmm
he was either above. I know he was above, but I don't know if he was right above or next
hmm
above.
But in the same building though, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when we see, if we were to look at this video, we would see a downward angled view. Is that correct?
Yes. So the camera,
hmm
so his camera goes in motion, like it follows
Okay.
motion. So
Okay.
it moves as the person is walking.
Okay. Nice camera. All right. Now I heard you just to describe what the person that you were able to see on that camera is white, which suggests to me that the camera might be black and white as opposed to color. What is it?
I believe so.
It's black and white.
I believe so. I can't remember, but I believe
Okay.
so.
All right. And when you described what the person who was out here doing this pouring gesture was engaged in, you didn't mention any other colors. Were they wearing other colors that you could see or other garments?
So I believe, I mean, what I can remember, or you want me to look at the
You can
notes?
look at your notes, just let us know you're looking.
Okay, I'm looking now.
hmm
So on the video, you can see a black male wearing a white, I put slash pink hoodie because the color of it,
hmm
um, was like whitish but grayish looking.
hmm
He was wearing gray pants and white shoes.
All right. Now you distinguish gray pants from white slash pink, which comes across as gray. Was it a darker gray?
So, so the video was like it happened in April. So I'm trying
I
to
got
figure
you. I got you.
if I can
I got you.
remember. I would suggest it was like a grayish based on it wasn't it was not black because
Yeah,
you can tell
I
what black
got you.
and gray is.
I
But
got
yeah,
you.
it was gray. It
All
wasn't
right, beautiful.
thicker, but it was gray.
I got you. Gray is gray. I'm with you. All right. All right. Let me go on down just a little bit here. Um, now you say that he comes uh the person who's doing the pouring gesture, what does he do with the can?
He just leaves it.
He leaves it. Where does he leave it?
So based on the angle,
hmm
um, so it's coming from like right here, like the angle is coming from right here, and I'm the car. The
hmm
driver's side, you can see him in the driver's side
hmm
doing the porn gesture.
hmm
Um, and he just leaves it there.
Okay, inside the
Yes,
vehicle.
it's inside
Okay.
the vehicle. I
All
believe you
right.
can see it on the video as well that it's on the driver's seat. I believe.
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
remember.
Okay, cool, cool. And you don't know what was in there. We've all been talking about gas cans, but the truth is you don't know what if it was an accelerant, what accelerant it was. Is that correct?
Yes, but
Okay.
based on how fast it ignited, I thought I just put gasoline.
You have any experience investigating fires?
I did not.
Okay, all right. Um, now the I'm considering the lead officer. Is that a correct way to characterize your role in all of this?
I believe so. The
Okay.
officer in
Mhm.
charge. Yes.
And you say you summoned fire out, meaning the fire department. Is that correct?
Yeah. So before the call, so
Hmm.
so the way our department does it, if it's a fire call, they
Hmm.
call out first, and they
Hmm.
have them also en route.
Got it. Got it. So did fire didn't make it on scene before you did though?
No, because we're all
Okay.
waiting the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And when fire concluded putting out the fire, what did they say? Did they say an accelerant was used?
I'm not sure. I know that they called the fire investigator, and he came
Hmm.
out.
Okay. And you haven't had an opportunity to look at the fire investigator's report,
I have not.
and you haven't had an opportunity to speak with the fire investigator. Is that right?
I have not. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now, when the person comes from within the building, can you see them actually travel through the door
Yeah.
of an apartment?
You
All
can
right,
see it on, you
wonderful.
can see it on the video.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Like I
sir.
said, the camera it turns,
Yes,
it
sir.
follows motion, and it
Mhm.
at that moment it moved right, and you can see him coming out the apartment.
Yes, sir. And you can actually see that door that he's coming out of, even though the camera is above the door.
I believe so.
Okay. All right. And in that person's hand that is coming out of the door, do you see anything?
Yeah. So he had you can see like a bunch of clothes.
Okay. All right. So we got some more clothes going on.
Yes.
All right. All right. Now, when the fire ignites, where is the person?
So he's right here by the door.
Hmm.
So like I said, I believe the he puts everything in, then he walks away
Hmm.
and then comes back and then ignites it. I don't know what he used. He
Hmm.
didn't use a throwing motion or nothing. He just ignites it, catches on fire quick, and he walks away.
You say he did not use a throwing motion?
Yeah, he didn't do like no throw motion.
Yeah,
Like I know
yeah.
earlier they described, did he throw it? Did he lit it? He didn't
Right,
do
right, right.
a throwing motion. He was next
Okay.
to inside the car when it happened.
Oh, so he was inside when you first noticed the fire when you're looking at the video.
Well, not inside, but the door was open and he was on the threshold right here.
It isn't. I got you. I got you. And during that time, he also brought more clothes out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Um,
not after. Well, after he set it on fire, he walks away. He doesn't come back again.
correct, correct,
Yes.
correct, correct. I got it. I got it. So what you saw is approximately two visits, one with nothing but clothes, and the second visit with clothes, and then during contemporaneous with that second visit, there's an ignition inside the car.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Tell me, how did you notice the fire on this video? Was it colored or did it emit something that said, "Hey, there's a fire going on in there"?
So, like I said, I haven't seen the video in a while.
Hmm.
I don't think it was black and white. I think it was color video.
Okay, okay.
But you could tell, you could see the red car because it was a red vehicle. That
I
was,
see.
you
I
could see
see.
that it was red. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, you could see the fire like light inside the vehicle
Yes.
and then smoke.
Okay, I got it. I got it. All right. So now let's go back again to those clothes that you were looking at. Now that we know we had a color video, the pants were gray but not black, correct?
Yes.
And the top you described initially as gray, and then you said slash pink. Did you
No,
mean that?
white slash pink.
White slash pink. Ah, okay, white slash pink. Okay. All right. Um, Now, Madam Prosecutor asked you about showing the neighbor's video to the person who is described as the baby mama. Um,
Yes.
did you in fact show the video to the baby mama of?
Yes, I did.
Okay, wonderful. And where was she at the time that you showed her this video?
So she was outside. I think her cousin or somebody was giving her a ride somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. 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 So you had already retrieved the video from the neighbor?
Yes,
Okay. And what day did you show this to her?
the same day.
The same day, but at 9 a.m.?
I can't remember the
Oh,
time.
okay. All right. You gave a 9 a.m. time earlier, so that's why I was asking that question.
9 a.m.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe I gave a 9 a.m.
Maybe it's not in relationship to this. But it's okay. All right. The vehicle you say is registered to the baby's mama's mama. Is that right?
The baby's mama. Yes.
Okay.
I probably have her info on here if you need me to.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I just wanted to clear it up because we were dealing with some names in a few minutes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I got confused as to who the name belonged to. And so not the mother of his purportedly his child's mother, um, meaning the person who is actually in the apartment. Who does the apartment belong to, by the way?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I believe
Oh,
there's like a bunch of people living in there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the car is registered to the mother of the child of allegedly his child's mother.
Yes.
All right. And so when you give us that name with the apostrophe in it or hyphen in it, that is the mother of the child's mother, correct?
No, that is
That's his.
baby mama.
I got it. I'm with you now. I'm with you. Whew, okay. All right, let me go here just a second. Now you say that you had a conversation with the mother of his child's mother. Is that correct?
I believe I did.
Okay.
I think other officers spoke. I believe they did supplementals to it.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
attached to the report.
Wonderful. And those supplementals are attached to your report or attached to
It,
their report?
it should be attached to my report. Yes.
Okay. And in their attachment to your report, do you know if there is video or audio footage also linked?
It should be.
Okay. All right.
It should be all saved under the same report. It
Got it.
doesn't matter what officer was out there. They
Right.
save every video under the same report number.
Right. Right. So the mother of my client's child's mother says that her daughter usually has the car. Is that correct?
Yes.
Who else does she say has the car?
Wells? I don't remember.
Okay, but at least her daughter has it at some point in time.
Yes.
And you don't know if my client has it at some point in time.
Well, I'm pretty sure they do because I believe she
Okay.
said that they share it. But
Okay.
at that point when he asked to borrow the car, he said
Hmm.
that she said no.
I got it. I got it. And these clothes that you saw being taken from the apartment and placed into the car, who did those clothes belong to?
Unknown.
Unknown.
I believe
All
it
right.
was the baby mama. I believe
Okay.
because at one point she was like, my clothes.
Oh, okay. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. That's a
Um,
pretty good indicator.
but
All
I'm
right.
not sure if it was his or hers.
I got it. I got it. And I'm pronouncing this name of the child's mother because I'm tired of saying baby mama as Janya. Is that the way you're saying it too?
I guess I didn't want to butcher it, but I guess
I
yeah.
got it. All right. Well, my name is Trail, so I think people butcher mine, butcher hers for a minute. All right. She says that she denied him having the vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what she told me.
Uh-huh. And then she says that there was a text message sent from him to her, but you officer were not able to see that. She didn't produce that for you.
Correct.
All right. And then also she said that the reason why she didn't produce it is that he unsent it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you did not, since that time, since that April date, go back and confirm with the phone carrier that any data ever transferred between the two people, her phone and his phone. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I didn't.
All right. And in fact, do you know what his phone number is?
Based on I believe I wrote it on the report.
Okay, just take a look. You
Whatever
don't have
she
to
gave
read it
me.
out, but just see if you see it in there
Whatever she gave me.
or whatever she gave you.
Yes.
All right. All right. Did you verify that that number belonged to my client?
I did not.
Okay. All right. All right. Hang on. Now, Janya wasn't home at the time of the fire. Is that right?
Yeah, she was not.
Okay. Did she tell you when she had left the home?
She did not. She
Okay.
she barely wanted to speak.
She barely wanted to speak. Why was that?
Uh,
In your professional opinion?
to be honest, I'm not sure. I guess they were mad.
Honor, I'm gonna object right now. Speculative. If she didn't want to, then and did not indicate to the officer why she wanted to, then it would be pure speculation as to why, for him to answer that question at this time.
All right, you have a response, Mr. Lewis?
Judge, I thought I was asking for what he believed. I didn't care what she actually said.
Your
Why
Honor,
he
I
believed
believe
she
the
did
testimony
not.
is that she didn't say anything, which is why the next question was, why do you believe that?
No, no. Actually, the testimony, she did say things, but she was reluctant to say it.
But if she didn't indicate to him why, Your Honor, again, that is purely speculative. And I believe based on where the officer started his response, he does not know why.
I'm going to ask you to overrule the objection, Judge. I'm asking for what the officer's observations are.
That's not what your question was.
Okay, so as to the question, it is speculation, so that is sustained, but you're free to ask a different question that's not, that may or may not be speculation. We'll take it up.
Understood. Understood. Yes. So, officer, what is your observation in your professional capacity as to why she did not want to speak to you?
Baby mamas love their baby daddies, and
I got it. I got it. I'm with you. All right. Hang on just a second, please. Now, you said that there were two other vehicles next to this vehicle. Is that correct?
yes, sir.
And the vehicle that we've been talking about so far has been a red vehicle. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What are the colors of the other two vehicles?
I believe one of them was a black Cadillac Escalade, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really recall. And the other one was like a Honda, I believe. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
If I could look at my report, I could be able to tell you.
Yeah, please, please.
Okay. So it was one was a black Corolla,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Chrysler Pacifica, which was the one that was burnt,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one was a Cadillac. Yes, a black Cadillac.
All right, beautiful. And you charged in relationship to these other two vehicles criminal damage of property in the second degree, did you not?
Yes.
Can you tell us about the damage to the Toyota?
So the damage. So the one that received the most damage was that Toyota. I believe
Mm-hmm.
it was like the whole right side was burnt, like melted. The inside was well, I believe. Um, the tires were blown out.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the Cadillac, I believe it was the front headlight, grill, and bumper
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't really next to it, but they were about 2 or 3 spaces next to them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So on the Caddy again, front headlight and grill, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And on the Toyota, right, I've written it down as the right side paint is melted away. Is that right?
Yes,
And in the inside of the car, something is damaged there. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
All right, wonderful. Now you've been describing plastic from the building as being melted. What plastic is that, sir?
Um, can't remember. I just know
Okay.
it's some plastic burn. Because
Okay.
the majority of it is metal and brick and wood, but there was
Mm-hmm.
some plastic pieces on there as well.
You jump right to the reason why I was asking that question. So there was some plastic somewhere, but it wasn't the building structure itself.
No, it was some
All right.
plastic.
All right. All right.
Maybe the siding. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Hang on a second. Now, since the day of the fire that you were called out to, have you had an opportunity to see a photograph of my client?
Since the fire,
Yes, sir.
So based on whatever I look up on GCIC.
Okay, wonderful. And did you access GCIC on or after the day of the fire?
On the fire, yes.
Okay, wonderful. And when you had that GCIC picture in front of you, and you had that other video from the upstairs neighbor in front of you, were the two, when you looked at the two images, did you say, "Yep, this is that person"?
I can't tell. He had a hood on.
All
He
right,
didn't-
so you weren't able to deduce whether it was not because of the hood.
Yes.
All right. Was there any other area of comparison other than just the facial
No, sir.
area? Okay. Um, and and you weren't able to see the face on the video cam footage?
No.
Okay. Now, let me ask this question, and I'm going to be very clear here because I want to make sure that you and I are talking about the same thing.
Okay.
At no time while you're looking at the footage from the upstairs neighbor, are you ever able to see the face of the person who you've been describing?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, officer, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right, can you redirect?
Very briefly, Your Honor. I believe you testified previously. The victim, Janiyah, reviewed the video too, correct? Can you hear me?
You talking to me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes.
And based on her identification, you got a name?
Yes.
And based on that, you were able to take out the warrants that you took out against him?
Yes.
She identified him based on what?
On that they were mad because of the vehicle was not letting him borrow it. She was not letting him borrow the vehicle. And
That's the why, sir, officer. What is it about that video that let her say, yeah, that's him?
him going in and out of the vehicle. Of the apartment, and the
Okay.
clothes he was wearing.
That last little part kind of broke up. You said going out of the building and then something broke up.
Yeah, so him going in and out of the vehicle and inside the building and what he was wearing.
Okay, and when you say go inside the building, was it her specifically apartment that he was going in and out of?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the clothing that he had on earlier?
Yes.
And did he have permission from any of the owners of the vehicles that were damaged or the building itself to damage any of that stuff?
No.
One question based on something defense counsel asked regarding the arson investigation itself. Does PD do arson investigations?
No.
Who does that?
The fire department.
Is that a PD report or is it separate?
It's separate.
Do you incorporate that report into your overall report as the investigating officer?
No, I just put in that the fire investigator came out and he will do a report and it will be attached to the report.
That's what I said. You incorporate that as a part of your report.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I believe that's all I have.
Yes, recross.
Okay.
Thank you. Officer, you said that she identified him based upon the first thing that she was mad. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And the second thing you said is that she identified him because he was going in and out of the vehicle, correct?
Based on the video, yes. She saw the video.
Mm-hmm. And that he was going in and out of the building. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So now, officer, let me turn to you and ask you this clarifying question about two of those things. Earlier, when I asked you to describe the clothing that the person that you could see in the video is wearing, you said the pants were gray but not black.
Right.
And I heard you say that when Madam Prosecutor asked you about what Janaea said was wearing. You said that Janaea said he was wearing black pants, correct?
Correct.
And the he that she was describing was her baby daddy, correct? She was describing her baby daddy when she said that he was wearing black pants. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. And and then when I heard you describe the apartment, I did not hear you say you could see him on the video going inside the building. Could you see him going inside the building from that video?
Yes, because I remember I told you that the video camera turns,
Mm-hmm.
it follows motion, and you can see him coming in and out of the door.
In and out of the door, but you couldn't
Yeah.
see inside the door, correct?
No, you can see because the apartments are the way they are is 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he's going into that bottom right one.
Yes. And so you see him disappear off of the camera, presumably going inside the door, right?
Yes.
But you don't see inside the door. Is that correct?
I don't see inside the door, but you can see when he goes inside the building.
I
Yes.
got you. I got you. I'm not asking a trick question. I just want to
Yeah.
get the angle of this camera because I keep reflecting upon the fact that you're telling me that this camera is in an upstairs unit,
Yes.
correct? And that this camera is looking down. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is the upstairs unit out further than the downstairs unit? In other words, does it create an overhang for the downstairs unit?
I don't. I don't.
You
Believe
don't remember? It's okay. It's all right. But in order for the camera that's upstairs to see inside or at even in the doorway, it's got to be a camera that kind of does a boomerang. It looks out, down, and back towards the building. Is that right? Is it on like a swivel pod or something like that?
Not
That
sure.
takes
I just know it was a good camera that it moves up and down, side to side, and it catches motion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with you. I'm with you. Do you see his body on the camera break the door facing?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Now, this is just an assumption of mine, but I'm going to ask you. I asked earlier if you could ever see the face of the person, and you said no. You recall that?
Yes.
So you don't see the face when they go towards the car, and you don't see the face when they come back from the car. Is that right?
I don't believe so. Yes.
All right. My last question on this area, and then I'm done with this. When she told you that he wore, and in fact, I was deceptive there. Officer, it's going to be a couple of questions, but this last subject.
Yeah, I'm going to
When
object.
she told you,
I'm going to object based on what defense counsel has just mentioned. I don't recall asking the officer anything about in my recross about what the defendant had on. I just asked the officer if she had the opportunity to observe based on the video, not what the person specifically had on. I don't recall asking about the camera either.
So you objected too late. Like they already finished that whole question, and he hadn't even asked this next question, so I don't know what it is. So
Okay.
it may or may not be within the scope of your redirect.
okay, thank you, Judge. So, and I forgot my next question compared to with all that. Well, yes, no, I didn't. All right. So she recognizes her what she says is her baby daddy by the clothing that he has on, correct?
Correct.
When she described the pink, what kind of pink did she say it was?
I think it was like a light pink. That's the reason why on my video, when I did my report, it looked white.
Yes, sir. Okay. And so you write your report after you hear her say it's pink, but what you saw was white.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. That's it, Judge.
Okay. Officer, so I have a question. You said that on the camera, he was seen going back and forth, and he had clothes each time in his hand, and he was going back and forth and
Yes,
putting
ma'am.
them in the car.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's like I guess the implication is that he was retrieving her clothes, his clothes. Do you know whose clothes it was?
I mean, I would suggest her clothes because I wouldn't burn my own clothes.
Okay, but you don't know. You didn't
Yeah,
ask whose clothes it was.
I didn't. I just know that
Okay.
I just know when I showed her the video, she said, "Oh, those are my clothes. He burned my
Okay.
clothes." Like, she was in.
Okay. All right. That was it. Nothing else for me. All right. Anything based on my questions? Do either of you have any follow-up?
Just
Nothing
based
from the
upon your
state.
question, but I'll let the state. I'm sorry,
You
matter of
said
fact.
nothing. Ms. Thomas, you said you didn't have anything based on that.
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Lewis, did you have anything based on that?
Yeah, just based upon what you just asked, Judge.
Okay.
So do you know if these are these clothes that when she says they're my clothes, is she indicating that they're clothes that she purchased for him, or is she indicating that they are clothes that she has for her wearing? Do you know?
And I'm gonna object to the relevance. It doesn't matter if they're his or hers. If she claimed them as hers, that's sufficient.
I think it's relevant, Judge. What's your ruling?
I'm gonna overrule it. It goes the motive.
Officer, what was your answer?
So mine was, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Um, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. You have any other questions for this officer, Ms. Thomas?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other evidence on behalf of the state?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Any evidence on behalf of the defendant?
No, Judge.
All right. Ms. Thomas, did you want to do your closing remarks last?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Lewis?
Yes, Judge. Judge, I would submit to you that a car was burned and two other cars were damaged because that's what the witness said. I would submit to you, however, that whether my client did so or not is inconclusive, even to the point of 50% to allow you to get to any probability that he is the doer. The reason why I'm saying that, Judge, is twofold. Number one, the officer hasn't looked at the video. This is a trained police officer, post-certified, works for Forest Park, has been promoted since being on the job. This officer looks at a video and looks at a GCIC photograph and says, I can't tell. Okay. And this officer looks at a camera that is color and says, what he has on is white on the top, and what he has on is gray on the bottom. And according to this officer's hearing of what the purported victim said, her boyfriend has on a pink top and her boyfriend has on black slacks. This officer says to you specifically, they were not black pants, what he saw. This officer also says that the person that he sees is doing all of the carrying of items to and fro this automobile, face is obscured because he is wearing a hoodie. That face is obscured when the person is going towards the car. That face is obscured when the person is going back towards the building. This officer says that the alleged victim of this burning identifies the person as having being her boyfriend because he has access to the car. But Judge, we don't know who all has access to the car. A question towards the purchaser of the car says that her daughter usually has the car, but it doesn't say who does not have access to the car or who else has access to the car. We also know that the apartment suffers the same issue. We don't know who has access to the apartment and who doesn't have access to the apartment. In fact, we can make an assumption that the boyfriend has access to the apartment and the boyfriend has access to the clothes, the car, if the boyfriend has the ability to do something with the car, but he doesn't because her boyfriend has been denied use of the car. This person who is doing this burning has full utilization of the car. So asking isn't a requirement, and she's not there. Judge, there is no facial recognition, but the reason why she identifies this person as her boyfriend is the first answer that the officer gave before the prosecutor started objecting. He said she was mad. She was mad. And so she is mad, presumably, at her boyfriend. And so she names a person that the officer can't do a one-to-one comparison and say, I see that. She gives a different color top than what the officer sees. And in fact, the officer goes back and writes his report out as white/pink. He doesn't even adopt her colorization. He puts that pink in there because she mentioned it. Maybe it could be a light pink, but we don't know what color pink it is because we don't have that description. But he absolutely, affirmatively says they are not black pants. And so I would submit to you that the identification of my client as a person who does the act of burning is based upon what it sounds like, emotions. She's mad. We have been told about a text message that nobody has evidence of. She doesn't have evidence of it. The officer didn't get evidence of it. No one did. We are in October, about to ride into the month of November. This event allegedly occurred back in April of this year. And so at this point in time, Judge, I don't know if it ever existed. And with people who are mad with one another, Judge, who's to say if it ever existed? What I would submit to you, Judge, is we don't even know why she was mad at her boyfriend. It could have been something entirely unrelated to the car. She could have been mad for days. She could have been mad for minutes. I have no idea. But she arrives at the scene at some point in time, and at no point in time do we get any other greater clarity. So I would submit to you, Judge, at this point in time that there is insufficient cause to bind this matter over to Superior Court as to any of the charges. And should the state develop some greater evidence good enough to put in front of a grand jury, then they can do so. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Thomas?
Your Honor, my argument is going to be a tad bit briefer. What we have here is a defendant who was ID'd on video by the victim, who is the mother of his child, who has seen him probably more than the officer ever will. However, he had permission to be in the apartment, and there has been testimony that he did live there with her. Therefore, he would have had access to the apartment, particularly at that particular time of day, which makes this which confirms her identification of her, because she would have seen him going in and out of the apartment. He would have known what clothes to take and what clothes to grab. He would have known how to get into the car and access it. There was never been any contention that the person broke into the car or otherwise would not have had access to the car, and apparently he did have access to the vehicle. Would it have been perfect if the video had actually captured his face? It would have been, Your Honor. But she knows the person she's in a relationship. She knows the person that shared the residence with her. She knows she did not give him permission to drive that car. And apparently he did not have permission to damage the two cars next to it and the building. Her spontaneous observation, he burned my clothes. Somebody was mad, and the person that was angry, state would contend based on the officer's testimony, was the defendant and not her, because she told him he couldn't drive that car, and he took it out on the car and her mother. Regarding the discrepancy of the clothes, the officer previously testified that this happened at night. Some pretty good video for at night, but enough to show that the defendant had on, that the person who set the car on fire had on dark bottoms and a lighter top. Now, whether that top was pink or white, whether the pants were black or gray, is debatable. I have on gray pants now, Your Honor. They could be black, they could be gray, depends on the lighting. Here we have video that was recorded at night. Good enough to show the vehicles, the activity, but maybe not as enhanced to actually show the difference between black and gray or pink and white. State would contend that sufficient testimony evidence has been presented before the court today to transfer both counts of arson and criminal damage to property, the arson to the first vehicle, criminal damage to property to the adjacent vehicles and the building to the Superior Court of Fulton County. I keep saying Fulton, Superior Court of Clayton County, Your Honor.
All right, after hearing testimony evidence, the court does find sufficient probable cause for both of the charges. They'll be bound over to Superior Court for further prosecution. This matter is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Rogers, did you have a